Section 8. Format cells and ranges. In this section, we are looking at the various ways of formatting cells and ranges in Excel. It will cover the following questions. 18. Merge cells. 19. Cell alignment. 20. Format cells with Format Painter. 21. Wrap text within cells. 22. Apply cell formats. 23A. Apply format to data. 23B. Apply cell styles. 23C. Clear cell formatting. From the study guide which is provided to you with this course. We have come to merge option. Student budget to merge and center the student budget heading across column A through M. बड़ा सिंपल है ये. हमको बस मर्ज करना है और टेक्स्ट को सेंटर में लाना है. वो तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. इसमें रॉकेट साइंस बड़ा इजी है करना. So what I do is this. Let's open the sheet. इसमें मैंने बहुत चेंजेस किए हुए हैं. मैं ये वाला शीट खोल देता हूँ. And the student budget is written in one particular cell known as A1. That is where my student budget is. He's telling me that now you have to merge this 8 all the way to M. And he's saying, अब इसको merge center कर दो. Very simple it is. आंखों के सामने है merge and center. हो गया मेरा काम. Merge and center. This was question number 18 and the answer is so simple. Correct. Now let's look at the next aspect of this. Merge and center में भी options आते हैं हमारे. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि you will have some data typed in a cell and you will say I want to merge all my cells. But I don't want the data to move. मेरा जो student budget लिखा हुआ है, I want the word student budget to be there only, but I want this entire cells to be as one single cell. So I've selected my data along with the cells, and now I'll go to merge center drop down arrow. And in this drop down arrow, I've got options known as merge across, merge cells, unmerge cells. If I do merge across, my cell is getting merged, but my data did not move. My data is there only where it was. But all these cells have become a single cell. So when you want your heading to not come in the center and be there in the corner, we will use merge across and not merge and center. So tomorrow, if my data was there and my data, let's say, was right aligned, ये मेरा data ऐसा aligned है. Cell A में my data is right aligned. I select all my cells and I say merge across. See what happens. My heading moves from the left and comes to the right because the alignment of my data in cell A1 was in the right. That is why the heading came to the right. So when you do merge and center or merge and across, remember one thing, whatever will be your alignment, the data will be aligned according to that. Merge and center mein data will be merged and brought to the center. After some time you realize कि ठीक है मैंने ये कर दिया है, अब मुझे इसको unmerge करना है. I want to bring this data back and I want to unmerge these cells. I simply go here and say unmerge cells, and I get back all my cells as they were. This data comes back right aligned in the first cell. So I'm coming to question number 19, called as alignment. Imagine all these things that I'm teaching you all today are very important aspects of Excel when you are presenting your data sheet. जितना important आपका data है, however important your data है, that much important is also our presentation of data. You may be perfect in your calculations, you may be very good at the particular formulas you have applied, but if it's not presented nicely, the charm of looking at the sheet goes away. It does not appeal that much to a person when he looks at it. That is why these things that I'm teaching you today are very important as far as presentation goes. They always say the difference of giving or submitting a professional document and a normal document is based on factors such as alignment, formatting your cells, and spacing between your data. If these three aspects are not clearly looked after, your sheet will lose the professional touch. It will lose the professional feel. That's why I always tell people that Excel is not about formulas and functions only. 45% of Excel is formula and functions. 65% is all this what I am teaching you. All right. So I'm coming to alignment, which is again a very important aspect in Excel. Right now, there's only one question of alignment we have. Let's look at it. We center align the month heading in A3. Indent the total text in A8 and give an angle to the text in B3. So he's telling me to do three different aspects of alignment. One, he tells me कि तुम center align करो. Second, he tells me तुम indentation दो. And third, he tells me give it a angle. I'm opening my sheet and let's understand this. So first he tells me that you go to the month and in the month cell, you center align it. Then he tells me go to the B3 cell or B2 cell. Suppose B2 में चला गया मैं. And he tells me you give it an angle. So I will go over here to this AB and I've got an angle over here, allowing me to give an angle to the cell either counterclockwise or I give it angle clockwise. जो मुझे ठीक लगा मैं वो angle दे दूंगा. Then he tells me that you go to the total and give it an indentation. So after I come to total, there are two arrows over here, front and back. I will move forward. I will give a small indentation of 1. And I gave an indentation to my total. That was the question. This is the answer of question number 19. Now what I'm coming to is an interesting aspect of formatting. Alignment तो सबको पता है, left, right, center हम alignment करते ही रहते हैं. But indentation is a very important aspect. Because if I don't indent my data, I'll show you how the data looks. As you can see that this data is sticking to the edge of my cell. The data that you are seeing right now is sticking to the edge of my cell. बिल्कुल जो लाइन है उससे बिल्कुल टच करना है. इसको थोड़ा और प्रेजेंटेबल करना जरूरी है. So what I do is I select all this data and I simply go to the indentation button and click it once. My data is left aligned, but it has been given a little bit of space. So when I go to my printing, now you will see your data looks better. Alignment left ही है, पर देखिए ये जो gap हम दे रहे हैं, इससे our data's presentation has become so much more better. As far as numbers go, I can't do much, to be honest, because numbers go and stick to the right side of your data. Automatically मेरा जब मैं number format करता हूँ, all my data goes and sticks to the right. If I try to give indentation over here, my data will go back to the left hand side and will give the same amount of space like my names. Agar you want your data to come like this, then yes, you can very well do what I did by giving an indentation to the data. Or you can leave it as it was originally, where you don't give any indentation to your data. In case of numbers, it becomes difficult to give indentation, but as far as text goes, this is a good idea of giving indentation. At least your text becomes more presentable. It does not stick to the edge of your cell. जब जगह है तो why not? Indentation दे दो. Leaving aside this indentation that I showed you just now for formatting a cell, there are a lot of times when you want your data to be aligned correctly. If my cell was a little larger in size, if I did a wrap text and if I make my cell logo like that, and if my cell number 3 or my row number 3 was slightly bigger, and then when I look at my data, it is not appealing at all. Because I realized कि यार gym membership तो ठीक है, ये 10 नंबर इतना नीचे आ गया है, ऊपर इतना सारा white space छोड़ दिया है. That means my numbers are now sticking to the edge of my cell, which is not what we should be doing. I will just select these numbers and I will say I want this. Why numbers? I should select this whole row actually. And I want this entire data to be aligned in a perfect way. There are 6 types of alignments in Excel. I am going to simply choose ये bottom alignment है. I'm going to simply make it center align on the top, not this center align, this center align. So my data stays where it was. This is left aligned, this is right aligned, but inside the cell my data comes exactly in the center. Now it's equal on top and down. Same goes for this lettering. It is not sticking to the edge, it is in the center of the cell. This is how you would align your data if you were looking at cells which were broader than normal size of cells. So I'm coming to question number 20, which speaks about format painter. He says, student budget 3, paint the format of cell B3 to cells C3 and D3. So he's basically telling us to copy a particular format and apply that to the remaining cells of our worksheet. I'm opening student budget 3 and let's see what format we have got and what format we want to do right now. This is my student budget 3 file. You should be able to see it in front of you. As you can see, January has been given a slanting text.
I could simply just go here, select all of this and apply the slanting text. अब बोलोगे सर इतना इजी है तो ये फॉर्मेट पेंटर क्यों यूज करें? Question tells us right now to use it. I'm just showing it to you all. January में जाके we click on format painter once and I just drag across and all my cells will get the same format. This angle tilting could have been done even by using this option. I'm not denying that. If this January had a multiple format, for example, if it was bold, if it was blue in color, if it had an underline, and if the cell had a light blue color. And I want all these multiple options to be applied by a single click. Then the format painter would make a lot of sense. Because we are looking at multiple aspects of data into this. भाई ये blue color है, उसके ऊपर dark blue color में उसने किया है, उसको underline किया हुआ है, उसका जो handwriting style है, उसको भी change किया हुआ है, suppose. Okay, suppose कोई और handwriting ले लेते हैं. और जो underline है, उसका underline भी double underline है, single के बदले. तो इतने सारे एस्पेक्ट्स आ गए हैं. फॉन्ट साइज चेंज करना है, डबल अंडरलाइन देना है, बोल्ड निकालना है, ब्लू कलर देना है, लाइट ब्लू बैकग्राउंड देना है. 4-5 things. So if I had one choice was I would select all this and apply all these 4-5 things from here. But instead, by using format painter, in one click I'm able to do it. I simply click on format painter and I drag across. मेरे सब aspects, light blue color, dark blue color, handwriting style, everything gets applied in one go. This is why format painter is so important and so useful to us even in Excel. It format painter copies a format and applies it anywhere you want on your sheet. What I showed you was a continuous format painter. Suppose you realize कि एक particular format है, उस format को मेरे को अलग-अलग जगहों पे apply करना है. सब जगह नहीं करना है, अलग-अलग places में करना है. So then what I do, I click on that format and I double click on format painter. When I double click format painter, you can see the brush has come along with my cursor. Whenever I want to apply, I just click, and the joy of applying is so easy and convenient. I have to just go on clicking and it will go on getting applied at multiple places. After I finish applying it, I say I want to get rid of this format painter. I simply go back to format painter and click it once, and I'm back to my normal cursor. This is how format painter can be used to apply the format at multiple locations. For example, अगर मैंने ये particular format है, मैं इसको double click करता हूँ, मुझे ये particular format sheet number 2 पे apply करना है, and I want to apply right from A1 all the way to M1. I will simply drag it and leave it, and I've got that same format which I had in this particular sheet over here. So as soon as I type anything over here, I will get the same font and the same look. देखो exact same आ गया, वही tilt आ गया, वही double underline आ गया, वही dark blue आ गया. I got exactly the same format the way I had it in sheet number 1. There are a lot of times when you want your data to be aligned correctly. If my cell was a little larger in size, if I did a wrap text and if I make my cell logo like that, and if my cell number 3 or my row number 3 was slightly bigger, and then when I look at my data, it is not appealing at all. Because I realized कि यार gym membership तो ठीक है, ये 10 नंबर इतना नीचे आ गया है, ऊपर इतना सारा व्हाइट स्पेस छोड़ दिया है. That means my numbers are now sticking to the edge of my cell, which is not what we should be doing. I will just select these numbers and I will say I want this. Why numbers? I should select this whole row actually. And I want this entire data to be aligned in a perfect way. There are 6 types of alignments in Excel. I am going to simply choose a bottom alignment here. I'm going to simply make it center align on the top, not this center align, this center align. So my data stays where it was. This is left aligned, this is right aligned. But inside the cell, my data comes exactly in the center. Now it's equal on top and down. It says that we want to format the cell by putting 2 decimal points to the numbers and to show the dollar symbol for M4 to M6. So what is this? I'll open student budget 3 and let's see how we are going to format this now. So currently, as you can see, there are numbers already typed in front of us. So what is the idea here? Idea here is that this number right now 10, 100, 40 can mean anything. What is 10? 10 can be the number of students who have taken gym membership. 100 can be the number of cell phones that I have sold. It can mean anything right now. When I put any number in a cell, it is very important to give it a format. If I don't give a format to my cells, I will not be able to give a very clear indication as to what does that value indicate or what is the meaning of that value. So he says you have to give a dollar symbol with 2 decimal points. So right over here, I've got a shortcut to create any currency I want. और इधर ही मेरे पास dollar symbol है, rupee symbol है. I choose a dollar symbol from here. And automatically, I get the decimal points along with the dollar symbol. This is the way we can convert any number into a currency format. Now it makes sense. अब हमको पता है कि January gym membership का क्या है, cell phone का क्या है. It is the price that they are charging for the gym membership of every month, right? And the cell phone budget of every month and the gas budget of every month. So this is basically showing us how much the person is spending every month to manage the gym membership, the cell phone and the gas. This is the amount which is being charged, or you can say which is being spent by the students. I've been able to reach the conclusion only when I put a dollar symbol and 2 decimal places. Till then, the 10 could mean anything, as I said. Cell formatting can be used for various other aspects also. It's not just about currency. It's about how you want to display your cell format based on the data that you wish to display. So when I place my cursor on any cell, right now you will see there is a format known as general. This means that right now, wherever I'm clicking, it is a general format. It can be even ABC, or it can also be 2, 3, 4. I can put alphabets as well as I can put numbers. That is what we mean by general format. When I go to these different cell formats, I realize there are so many different types of formats. Each format has got its own meaning. General हमारा है where actually there is no specific format. Number है, as soon as I want decimal places, I convert my cell into a number format. अगर मैं ABC पे जाके इसको नंबर फॉर्मेट करता हूं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. See, no difference. But as soon as I convert that DF into 564 or 546, I get the 2 decimal points. So you may initially feel कि यार ये format का मतलब क्या है? Now you realize what is the meaning of formatting a cell. By default, all your cells will always be in general format. कोई भी sheet पे चले जाओ, you will find your cells to be in general format. Then you have to tell Excel that listen, from column B to column K, whatever data I'm going to type, that data is a numerical data. That data is a data which I need to have with decimal places. That you have to specify to Excel. And to convert all these cells into a particular format, after selecting, we go here. And I don't choose from here. Why? I will tell you. These are predefined formats. But when I go into more number formats, I get a window asking me, आपको define कैसे करना है? How do you want your data to be displayed and which format may the data should be displayed? What I mean by that? Pehle, how you want the data to be displayed? I will tell them I want the data to be number. That is how you want your data to be displayed. That answers the question. I want it to be displayed as a number. Which format of number you want to display? That is where I have come. When I go here and I choose it, I am only telling which or what data is going to be displayed. Is it a number? Is it a date? Is it a text data? That answer I get from here. But in which format I want that data, उसका आंसर इधर नहीं है. That answer, कि in which particular format your data has to be displayed, I have to go into this window. I want to display number. ठीक है, number हो गया. अभी next, कैसे चाहिए आपको number? Do you want negative numbers to be displayed in black color with a minus sign? Or do you want negative numbers to be displayed as red color without minus sign? Or do you want a red color with minus sign? देखिए इधर I have got multiple formats for my negative numbers. I can choose any one format. Then he says, okay, what's the next thing you want to do? How many decimal places you want after the number, or you want 0 decimal places? Choice is yours. I say, हाँ मुझे decimal place 2 ठीक है. Next question. Do you want the thousands of the number to be separated by a comma? Or you just want the numbers to appear with a decimal point without any comma at 1000? I say comma de do. I will click on OK. Now, if anywhere I have a negative number, and if I press enter, it took out the negative symbol, converted it to red color, gave 2 decimal places and put a comma after every 1000. to create the number to look like this, I cannot achieve it from here. From here, I can't. From here, what am I achieving? This is all I'm achieving. 234.00. कितना भी बड़ा number हो, what am I achieving? I'm achieving only a decimal point with 2 zeros. But this is customizing the format. इधर मैं जाके अगर नेगेटिव नंबर डालता हूं तो मुझे एक फॉर्मेट मिल गया कि यार 23,456.98 करना है, ऐसा फॉर्मेट में नंबर आना चाहिए. This is how we create cell formatting for our data, by going into this option and going into more number formats. Now we are coming to formatting data. ये बड़ा सिंपल है, इसमें ज्यादा कुछ रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है, ये आप रोज यूज करते हो. फॉन्ट कलर करना, फॉन्ट को बोल्ड करना, इटैलिक करना, अंडरलाइन करना, साइज चेंज करना. 23A I'm not going to do with you because you do it. But it says student budget 4. Apply the 20% accent 1 theme cell style to the categories and monthly amounts on the current worksheet. Then apply the note style to the contents of cell A12. Yeah, bhai. 20% accent 1 and note style. So let's open student budget 4. Let's apply this cell format and understand कि exactly करना क्या है. So this is my student budget 4. यहाँ पे मुझे सेल्स को फॉर्मेट देना है. So I select these cells first. And right next to our insert and delete, there is an option known as format. This format is not what I am showing you. This format is your row height, your column height, your hiding cells and hiding cells, all that stuff is in format. My cell format is under something we call as styles. It says format the cells. पहला इंप्रेशन होगा अरे यार फॉर्मेट के अंदर होगा शायद फॉर्मेट करने के लिए. Unfortunately फॉर्मेट में नहीं है. The formatting of cells is under a category known as styles. Under styles, I've got various colors and various formats. So, क्या है ये formats? You see, why do we need these formats? There are certain universal formats which are provided by Excel. One is these colors which are given to us. So he says you choose accent 20%. So मैंने कर दिया. And then he says go to cell A12 and choose a note का format. तो ये जो फॉर्मेट्स है आप बोलोगे सर ये तो कलर्स है, इसमें तो हम तो ये सिलेक्ट करके इधर जाके कलर लगा सकते हैं ना. सेम थिंग हो गया. मैं इधर भी जाके आई लाइक दिस येलो, आई अप्लाई दिस येलो. चलो, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग इन इट? नथिंग इज रॉन्ग. Clicking a cell and changing the color from here is correct. I'm not saying it is wrong. But what happens is that in the corporate world, when we are working with Excel, and if people who are using Excel extensively, and if they want to express certain aspects of the data, possibly what that data contains, then what they do is they use these styles. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये नोट है, तो अभी जब मैं अपना एक्सेल का शीट खोलूंगा, मैं समझ जाऊंगा कि ये जो बॉक्स है जिसमें ये लाइट येलो कलर है, he is indicating that this is some note and it has got nothing to do with the data on the top. This is a note he has given us and it's got nothing to do with this data on the top. That's why he's given this particular yellow color. By looking at the color, I will come to know it is a note. Similarly, if there is some numbers here and I have applied a formula over here, without going to the cell, how will I know there is a formula in the cell? I have clicked here. How do I know from here which cells have formula, which cells don't have formula? I have to go to the cell and check it out कि यार इधर कहीं पे formula तो नहीं डाला है उसने. Or I'll have to go to formulas and say show formulas to see where the formula is applied or not. But without doing all of that, in Excel I have got the option of styles, where if I have applied a formula, I simply choose this orange color with gray saying कि यहाँ पे एक calculation apply किया हुआ है. So when a person looks at the cell, he comes to know, he says ये जो cell है वो calculated field है. That is why we have been given these styles, which are universally considered to be applied. People know ये कलर का मतलब ये इनपुट सेल है, ये मतलब लिंक सेल है, इधर कोई लिंक ऐड किया है उसने, इधर एक एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया हुआ है तो ये एक्सप्लेनेटरी है, वार्निंग टेक्स्ट है तो ये कलर में है, चेक सेल है तो ये कलर में है कि भाई प्लीज चेक दिस सेल, प्लीज चेक दिस फॉर्मूला, I think there is a problem in this formula, so I will apply the check cell का format over here and say please have a look at this formula, there seems to be a problem. After that person has checked the formula, he simply goes here and say okay, I've checked it, he makes it normal, he has finished his job checking the formula and he goes back to normal. So when the files are sent for review to people, at that time these styles are applied. So 123C कर देते हैं, लास्ट वाला कर देते हैं. It's an interesting, very interesting aspect again. I'm opening the file and then you realize after you open the file that you don't want this blue any longer to be there on your cells. मुझे ये format निकालना है. So I will select my data. If I press delete तो मेरा सब data delete हो जाएगा. And if I go here, I will be able to remove the color by putting in white color. So you say, sir, इतना simple था. But suddenly you realize that it is not the color only, it is also the currency symbol which I need to remove from all these cells. The cell had a blue color and the cells have a currency symbol. I want to remove the currency symbol and make it into numbers. Normal. I want to make it absolutely normal. मुझे उसको back to ground zero लाना है और color भी disappear हो जाना चाहिए. If I want both of those things to happen, what you would do with this, you would go and make it white first, then you would go over here and you would choose a general format. Am I right? यही करते ना। अगर मैं इसको व्हाइट कर रहा हूं, आप देखिए ये बीच के लाइंस, मेरे ग्रे कलर के लाइंस डिसअपियर हो गए, so I can't make it white color. चलो, so it's a no problem sir, I will go here and I will say no fill, okay, and I will go here and I will say general. Absolutely right, this is nice, this is the correct what you're saying. This is what you would do. You would first go here, remove the color, and go here and make it general. But I am going to do it by one single click. I will select this data, and over here I've got a clear drop down arrow. I will click this drop down arrow. Under my drop down arrow, I've got 3-5 options actually. Clear all ka matlab you will remove my data as well as remove the format. Clear format ka matlab you will keep my data but remove the format, and clear contents ka matlab you will keep the format but you will delete the data. देखो कितना important है ये. There are 3 different types of clearing. The first case will clear everything. Khalas, story end. The second case will clear the format. Fantastic. I am back to ground zero. I didn't have to go here, nor did I have to go here. मैं 2 जगह जाने के बदले एक ही जगह से कर रहा हूं by clicking one button. Clear formats. The third option says, I like the format, but my data is wrong. I want the percentage to be there. I want the decimal point to be there, and I want the blue color to be there. But I don't want these numbers. So I choose clear contents. And now when I type any new number, I say, अरे membership का pricing अलग था, पूरा wrong था data, इधर तो 20 होना था. And when I press enter, the 20 will automatically get the dollars and the decimal. This is how we work with clearing our data. 3 options are there. You either clear the first option, clear everything. सब कुछ निकाल दो, फॉर्मेट भी नहीं चाहिए, डेटा भी नहीं चाहिए. सेकेंड ऑप्शन, मुझे डेटा चाहिए बट फॉर्मेट नहीं चाहिए, करेंसी निकालो, डेसिमल पॉइंट निकालो. थर्ड ऑप्शन, फॉर्मेट रखो, करेंसी और डेसिमल पॉइंट रखो, सिर्फ डेटा को डिसअपियर कर दो, बस. These are the 3 important objectives of working with the clear button.